Hey there, how you doing? This is day 14 of the Avignon Festival. Right now, I'm at the Village Dwarf. I need to wait for just about an hour because there's going to be a seminar about China, and I'm very interested in that. It's been 14 days already, and really everything kind of feels downhill. We still have 6 shows to go. For the people that have been following for a while, basically I have 2 shows here. One I'm performing, the other one I'm teching. And I'm the last show of the festival, basically at 23:30 at the Tash Dunk. And this is a flyer of the show, just in case you want to check the program. And so what's been happening really, I finished all the posters, which is great. One of the things you do here is putting up posters, and you're just allowed to put up under 50 posters, and you usually, dilute that during the day. So I just put up like 10, 15 posters a day, but I go to the point where I just finished the posters. I think I have like 5 left. And so today it's a strange day. It's a kind of day where you study to balance. Basically, you try to draw a balance of your experience and just understand what went well, what went wrong, and so on. What you need to do maybe for the following year, stuff like that. Now, amazingly enough, I was not supposed to be here, both in Avignon and in Edinburgh. And Edinburgh particularly scares me a lot because apparently I would perform a lot, much more than here. So for the people that don't know that, but in France, in theory, you're supposed to take a day off every 6 days. So you can't do in theory like a 7-day long performance, but it's got to be 6 days, pose, another 6 days, and so on and so forth. And that in French is called la journée de relâche. So on the posters you will see relâche, which is basically day off, and yeah. I just want to show you also. Yeah, let me see if I can move here for a second and get the same light. Okay, so you see where I am. So this is like the cool area of the Village Dwarf where basically people can hang out or relax and so on and so forth. And I'm waiting for a friend of mine. So how was this festival overall? I think it was really strange for a number of reasons. Number one, it started one week in advance because in France we have the Olympic Games, and the first week was kind of tough for all the companies, audience-wise. You gotta understand also that that particular week, the one that goes from the 29th of June until the if I'm not mistaken, 29th of June until the 7th of July, something like that. It's a week where schools are still open. So that creates already like an audience drop and something like that. And also there were the French national elections. And I've been coming here for 6 years, 5 years with shows, and the first year just came here just to give a look. And that never happened before. So it's a series of factors. I think they had an impact on the audience. And then on the second week, which started, if I'm not mistaken, something like the 6th of July up to the national holiday, then things started to gear up, and audience-wise it was much better. I must say personally, I'm actually satisfied because I really had the chance to hone my show to perfection. And right now I reached the level where if I had a programmer coming to the venue to watch the show, even by himself, it will work. You just know that, with experience, you know what works and what doesn't work. So right now, it has reached the point where it's kind of ready to tour, and I'm very curious about what is going to happen in Edinburgh, because in Edinburgh, the venue where I am is not that bad, but there are some other venues that opened up. I'm going to explain that later on, and so it's just going to be tough. Here, more or less, I'm in a theater. A real theater, with regal lights and so on, a stage area, stalls and stuff like that. But over there is going to be completely different. It really doesn't matter. This is the lightest show I ever devised in my life. I mean, it literally fits underneath the seat of an airplane because I tour. So that's good. That's good. So yeah, I haven't watched that many shows yet. I watched a show from China, 2 shows from China. A French show And then I watched another one, which I completely forgot about. Ah, yes, a stand-up comedy show, like 4 or 5. Now, last year I was here, I watched like 28. And there's reasons for that. I'm staying in an apartment. Last year I was staying in a camping site. I guess everything makes me more lazy in a way. And so I usually, get out just late. I mean, today I just got out 3 o'clock in the afternoon from my house, the apartment which I'm letting. What I do notice is, I mean, although the offer of show is staggering, 1,500 or whatsoever, because I've been coming here for such a long time, I tend to see now the same shows coming to Avignon over and over and over. And I gotta tell you the truth, I think this particular edition it was hard to find something interesting so far. But like I said, I haven't seen that many shows. I'm gonna check out a show tomorrow at 2 o'clock. I'm booked for one. And I'll try to see at least another 5 or 6. But last year was much better. What I did notice this year, compared to the other editions I attended, was that number one, you see a much greater presence of China, including Taiwan. Okay, China and Taiwan. So they say it's the same country. So let's pretend it is for a second. When I was here in 2018, I think there was just one show from Hong Kong. 2019, I think there were like 2. And right now, they say it's 11. I think it's more than that. I wouldn't surprise if it's 13, 14/15 or whatever. Last year was 7, I think. So everything seems to double up every year. I mean, I would not be surprised if by next year there's going to be 30 shows from China. And China is going to be, in the future of theater, I think, a major newcomer. Story-wise, a bit weak, if you ask me. Considering the size of the country and the type of stories the Chinese can tell. Now, there may be a number of reasons because of that. But still, just last year I watched an amazing physical theater show about COVID, about the lockdown in China, believe it or not, played by 6 actors. It's one of those shows that really stayed in my mind. And I think from the audience point of view, there's an incredible interest in Chinese theater for a number of reasons. It's the emerging superpower. It is what it is. It's Chinese is a second, if I'm not mistaken, it's the second, if not the first foreign language study in Africa. And I remember in Italy, in 2003, there was the first Italian high school that started to offer Chinese language courses in their syllabus. And right now, I think it's like 70. So everything is expanding very rapidly. And a superpower, because it is a superpower, like China, of course, wants to project also culturally. So we'll have to, I'm very curious. To tell the truth, I think they're still very weak. I think Chinese theater is very weak from the clownesque physical point of view. It's very weak because historically it absorbed so much from the Soviet Union. But they're very strong on the psychological side, Stanislavski and so on. But really, as far as my genre is concerned, it's just very weak, which is good for me, I guess. And yesterday I watched this show titled The Legends of the White Snake, and it was quite a bold show because it was in Chinese, but without subtitles. And that makes you think, if any of you guys coming from Anglo-Saxon countries, Australia, the US, Canada, you name it, you want to have a go at Avignon, just remember, the Chinese are coming, performing their show without subtitles. And the place, which was Teatro Noir, was full to the brink with people. So China is going to be the newcomer in theater, I'm sure. Like I said, it's still weak. I still see them weak, but these guys catch up very, very fast. And I think their problem is finding stories that can be appealing also to European audiences and stuff like that. So that's what I would say about this edition of Avignon so far. I would call it China is rising or something like that. So, still 6 days to go, and like you said, it feels bizarre. I think I'll have a live stream next about Edinburgh, because I'm getting prepared for that. And like I said, there's so much to do. But before I leave for Edinburgh, I just want to to a live feed and maybe just throw a couple of comments there, see that what I have in my mind then is going to meet reality. It's always funny, whatever kind of enterprise you're engaged into, whatever kind of adventure you're living, the mismatch between what you have in your mind and the reality of it is always great. On a side note, now that the show is ready, I've applied to a couple of festivals out there, and one of them is in Iraq. Let's see what happens. So just throwing that there. Maybe if I happen to go there, I'll take a section of this video and just put it up. All right, guys, enjoy life. 6 days to go. I'm not tired, but I would say that mentally, you kind of know this is going to be the end of the race. So the level of tension is certainly lower than 1 week ago. And you really want to enjoy your time here. The biggest regret you can have if you're doing Avignon is the fact that you have not enjoyed the festival to the full. And for me, enjoying the festival will be to watch other shows, meet other artists, and stuff like that. All right, take care. Bye-bye. Ciao.